Hey, what's up everybody, Destroyer here, and I'm here bringing you a Rise of the Witch King commentary today. I played a couple games the other day, and figured I'd put them up so you guys can watch, because I don't play Rise of the Witch King very often, honestly, because I'm not very good at it. But here we have Destroyer in the bottom right as Isengard, and this is a 3v3 on, the map name is Anfalas. That's right. And we have the Techer as the men here on my team, and our last partner here is Mordor, and he is special guest. The top right we have vic-chan as Mordor, and his partner here, Bad Judgment, as the Dwarves, and their final partner is the Goblins, which is Ganrel. So that is the teams, this is the map, and this is a 1000 resource game, as usually is on Rise of the Witch King games. Most people don't play 4K games because they're silly for the most part. So we have a Goblin Cave opening for this player here, which is Ganrel. And so he'll be producing some Goblin Warriors there. Very good, very standard. And let's see, Dwarves opening up with some axe throwers here. And this Mordor player is opening up with Orc Warriors. vic-chan opting to open with Orc Warriors. You definitely don't see the Corsairs in Rise of the Witch King like you do in patch 1.6 of normal, which is quite nice. As I do hate Corsairs quite a bit, as they're overpowered in that patch. But not so much in Rise of the Witch King, which is great. At least patch 2.02, I should say. And let's see, we got a Anfalas opening. Looks like he might be going straight for Haradrim Lancers there. So, special guest could be making a good choice. And it seems the Techer is going for cavalry as well. Cavalry, excuse me. I do mispronounce the word cavalry as Calvary, which is a different word entirely, as someone pointed out. And I'm well aware. And I'm trying to stop that. Looks like I'm opening with a Urk Pit here. I do have orcs ravaging my furnace here, which is not ideal. And there's an inn right here, so whoever captures the inn could potentially take advantage of that. And we have some Goblin Warriors in the back of the men's base here. But he does have some Gondor Knights out, which is good. I should be able to deal with any Goblin Warriors quite effectively. War Chant being thrown down on my farm there. Unfortunate. I will lose a furnace. That is not the end of the world. Looks like I'm getting a clan steading as well, so possibly for some wildmen. And yes, we do have some Haradrim Lancers here. Those will be very effective against these axe throwers and these Goblin Warriors, both of which are pretty much countered by this unit. And we got another Goblin Cave up here, so he will be continuing Goblin spam. A Hall of Warriors being thrown down by Bad Judgment there, and he will begin producing the tanky dwarf troops that the dwarves are known for. We have Orc Archers. We're here from vic-chan. Those will be quite useful as well, along with his Orc spam. And now he's pushing forward pretty aggressively. I do have crossbows out though. That's literally all I have at the moment, I think. These crossbows. I do have some wildmen on the way, which will undoubtedly be extremely helpful in countering this Orc spam. These crossbows are doing a good job as well, but I may need a little more than that. And it looks like the Gondor Knights are actually not doing as well as you might have hoped against these axe throwers. Also losing some stuff over here, it looks like, to these whatever whatever was there. But his partner, special guest, will be helping him clean up these goblins and these dwarves here. And the top team. So in a 3v3, it's very important that you help your partners, because if one player dies, it's going to be a 3v1, 3v2, you know. You don't want to be put in that position, as that would not be good for you. Usually that ends in your defeat, unless you're really, really good and you get lucky or something. If it goes late game, you could actually end the game in powers, and that could happen, allowing you to actually take on two teams somehow. but unlikely most of the time. There's a lot of Horadrim Lancers there. There's nice little grouping of Goblin Warriors right in between both of these buildings. Just enough space for them to get in there and start doing damage on both buildings. Unfortunately not doing much damage, it's gotta be said. But still very cool nonetheless. So you gotta be careful when you space your buildings out. I tend to put my buildings like this kind of with gaps in between where they can stand, which is not ideal. Ideally you want to keep your buildings kind of close together, so you can't get guys in between and start hitting both. You see I have captured the inn, so I can start making wildmen out of there. And my opponent, vic-chan, has also got some Horadrim Lancers, so that will be a problem for me probably, as I have no pikes at all really. Looks like I am queuing up some pikes though, and some wildmen of Dunland as well. So I will be forced to retreat back here a little bit, as there are a lot of orc archers and stuff. And it seems SpecialGuest is pushing across forward here. And he will begin doing a little bit of damage with his orc warriors and Horadrim Lancers to the goblins. Goblins need some pikemen or something very quickly, because he's being countered quite hard. And the Tecker, is that who I think it is? Mr. Omer? Yes it is. We do have some phalanxes though, from bad judgment. The dwarves there, pretty much countering Omer. He's gonna need to get him out of there, definitely. He now has some Rohirrim though. He could definitely make use of those if he wants to go harass maybe or something. Bow mode is, it's not super effective. Ooh, Omer going right in the middle of those pikes. Not good. That's gotta suck. You never want to lose your heroes, especially to that. That happens to me a lot. Especially when I play with an Arwen or something, or a Nazgul. I know that feeling. But, yeah, vic-chan is pushing in quite aggressively still. I haven't really got a chance to get across the ford yet, as I am playing pretty much strictly defense at this point. And the Rohirrim unable to deal with these phalanxes, unfortunately, because they are the direct counter unit. And as they are much more balanced, they're not able to just pick off pikemen from a distance like the Linden horse archers or whatever, which are extremely overpowered, and I hate those units with passion. And I hope they get debuffed extremely. But I have finally managed to push across the ford, it looks like. And I will begin killing a few orcs here and there. So our team is doing pretty well. The middle player, not as well, but he is not dead, and that is the important thing. I do have some pikes. I do have some horses in the back of my base, it looks like, from Mordor. I'm going to trample a few of my wildmen, possibly take out my furnace here, which is unfortunate. Zoom in a little bit. There we go. Watch the battle. Yeah, these crossbows are doing extreme amount of work here. You see they're killing a lot of Corsairs and a lot of orcs. Extremely useful. Especially when you can spam wildmen. Having the inn is pretty crucial here too, because I can keep the wildman spam coming from two different buildings. As the wildmen from the inn and from the clansteading cost 150 each from both, which I find a little curious. I find it strange that Isengard has wildmen from the inn, as it's not really anything special because they have that from a normal building. But whatever, nothing in the world. So the goblins do have some half-troll marauders here. So Ganrel is slightly prepared for these cavalry. But there's a lot of... Ooh, look at all those Horadrim Lancers. I don't think... Well, he definitely doesn't want to engage that. Not with his Horadrim Lancers, because there's half-trolls are still going to tear them to pieces. I do have Berserkers now in my army here, and I do have Warg Riders as well. And as you see, I have taken out a few structures here and there. I am pushing quite hard on the Mordor team, vic-chan here, Mordor player. So it looks like a lot of his structures are going to be going down. I do have Wildman upgrade, torch upgrades, equipping those onto my Wildman and Dunland, because they do more damage with their torches. Goblins are actually starting to make a little bit of progress here. Getting a bit deep into a special guest base here. But our partner with the Rohirrim, Mr. Tekker, will be assisting in the defense there. And it looks like this Mordor team is all but kind of screwed here, as he's out of buildings mostly. All he has is one Anfalas. I'm chasing down this builder with my Warg Riders, making sure he doesn't get away. And now it's just a matter of cleaning up his fortress. I do need to send these troops in here. Let's go over here and take a look, see what's going on. I did summon Wildman and Dunland to help my partner in his defense as well, which I found super helpful. And now White is starting to gain a bit of momentum, as he does have more than just Rohirrim. A Rohirrim start can be a pretty slow start, as I'm sure you might imagine, as they are not cheap. And in a 1K game, they're like, what? How much are they again? 750? Something like that? Let's go look. They are 650, which still is not cheap. And yeah, this Mordor fort is about to go down here. Goblins and Mordor here just having a stalemate, but we do have a Gothmog, the hero of Mordor there. The very red, extremely red. He's very angry. Orc there. And he will be giving his, well, actually not. I was going to say he'll be giving buffs to the orcs, but it's level 6. Looks like Gothmog actually will die here, unless saved. Oh, he needs to get Gothmog out of there. Gothmog is very close to death, and I think those orc archers are going to be enough to pick him off. Except for they all got trampled right at the end. Now Gothmog will retreat to safety. That is unfortunate. And this Mordor fort left with nothing almost. Seems the dwarves have come over to save him. And I do have a Gothmog of my own. So I am pillaging about as much as I can before, while I gather enough troops to siege the fortress here. Let's take a look at the PowerPoints real quick, while we have a chance. Bad Judgment, the Dwarves has Rebuild and Rallying Call. I have Wildman, Palantir, Rallying or War Chant, and Creebane. Or Creebine, I don't know how it's pronounced. Special Guest, Mordor has the Eye and War Chant. We have War Chant, Tainted Land, and Cave Bats from Goblins up there. And we have Untamed Allegiance from vic-chan, this Mordor player here, and War Chant. Untamed Allegiance, I'm not quite sure. Men only having heal. What would you use Untamed Allegiance on? Possibly these cave trolls. I guess that would make sense. A rebuild being thrown down to try and save this Mordor fortress, but I don't think it's going to matter. I also have some reinforcements from my ally, Mr. Tekker. He has sent some Rohirrim to my aid here to help me take down this fort. Having a Berserker is doing a pretty good amount of damage to this fortress as well. And yeah, it's looking pretty good for me over here. My partner in the middle does not seem to be in any trouble there. Let's take a look over here, as there's a very big battle going on. Lots of Goblin Archers, lots of Half-Troll Marauders. We do have a Cave Troll as well, controlled by the Mordor player, actually. So it looks like he has actually gone for Untamed Allegiance as well, to get himself some Cave Trolls, which are very powerful. Good choice. And a Fellbeast also coming out. And it looks like this Mordor fort over here has been knocked down. Now all that remains over here in the enemy territory is a couple of dwarf heroes, Prince Brand and Glowing. And as you see, I am bringing battering rams across the ford, as well as more troops. And Glowing is probably going to be in a bit of trouble, as I do throw down a War Chant there. Possibly going to kill him. And yeah, this Fellbeast is going to make a huge amount of difference here, as there's no way he has anything to counter this amount of stuff, as well as a Fellbeast. And it looks like Glowing did die there. And I think Prince Brand will die as well, as he's not going to be able to outrun a Berserker for sure, and taking flanking damage as well. Ouch. Definitely dead. Unfortunate if you're a dwarf hero nowadays. And I do have a battering ram up on this Mordor player vic-chan's last building, and he is knocked out of the game there. So vic-chan has been defeated. And now it's 2 versus 3 which is in our favor, of course. Mordor, special guest, having a very large army of Haradrim archers and or Haradrim lancers, excuse me, and orc warriors. Going to be pushing very aggressively on the goblin Ganrel, as I will be pushing on the dwarf Bad Judgment here, now that I don't have to go through Mordor to get there, because one does not simply just walk into Mordor. You have to walk around. So I will be needing a lot more troops here. Got a Boromir out from our partner, the Tekker. Boromir is always a good hero to have on your side, as he is probably my favorite, one of my favorite heroes, if not my favorite hero to buy, just because of how good he is, and because he's my favorite character, pretty much. Sean Bean, the guy who plays that, I pretty much like him in everything he does. So that is no exception. And yeah, this Felbeast might need to get out of there, as there's a lot of goblin archers here. He is tanking the arrows quite nicely. I mean, he'd probably get away, as goblin archers aren't that great. If he had a war chant, possibly, he might have taken that Felbeast out. But otherwise, not so much. And now we're going to definitely need some, yeah, there. That's exactly what we need. Some cavalry. One cavalry charge right through here is going to do extreme amount of damage. Look at all those goblin archers go down. Wildmen being summoned once again. I believe those are mine, because they are red. Yes, they're definitely mine. Looks like the dwarves are trying to defend his partner, Ganrel, to the best of his ability, but he's also simultaneously trying to defend his base. I do have lurts out now, and I will begin pushing against his fortress there. Undermine being thrown down to knock all these troops up. Battering ram getting very close. Looks like it might get a hit off, maybe two, possibly just one, looks like, because there is a defense force here, so he will manage to fend that off quite nicely. But he is losing ground here. But I don't have many troops over here as well, so probably we'll need to get more men over there. We have a lot of Rohirrim from our partner here, the men, as well as still a lot of Haradrim lancers. And he does have Corsairs now. Corsairs and Easterlings, a good combo, as they are both pretty good units. Under the eye buff, which gives a... Let's take a look what that gives exactly. 33% armor and damage and 50% experience. So they will be getting quite nice buffs. He needs to move that a little bit forward though, but I don't think it's going to matter, as there's not much here. He needs to be careful with these Haradrim lancers. Oh, losing a battalion of them right into the pikemen. That's unfortunate. Looks like Boromir's just creeping, running around destroying wargs and cave trolls in the map. And it looks like I do have a decently sizable army coming across the river here. Speaking of decently sized armies, the goblins definitely have one, in conjunction with his partner, the dwarves there. So eventually we will overwhelm them, as you might imagine. But it is a matter of time. They will put up a defense, as no player will just give up immediately, unless they do, because that does happen. But I am bringing a ballista across the river as well. That will be crucial for sieging this fortress. We have Saruman, finally, giving himself a wizard blast. Let's get some up-close Saruman action. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Fireball being used, killing those men of Dale quite nicely. And now I am preparing my siege force. And the ballista fires away upon these goblin warriors, or goblin archers even. And yeah, they definitely know they're in trouble, as they've pretty much turned all of their army on to my side of the map. But Mordor is not going to sit there complacent. He will move in as well. So, and we also have the white men of the west coming in as well. So, the 3v2 siege begins. And now, will we make it to the fortress is the question. It's got a lot of health still. I think Saruman just died, unfortunately, as I did have him in the front lines, taking the brunt of the damage. But it looks like I will manage to overwhelm these guys here. They'll be still managing to stay alive, doing good damage there. A worm being summoned down, taking out some archer towers. and these Spiderling expansions, Spiderhole expansions. And yeah, with the help of these Rohirrim, this fortress is going to be toast. As well as we have ballistas on the side there, doing good damage. And yet the dwarf player is soon to be knocked out here. And Ganrel has been defeated as well, which is the goblin player. So this game is pretty much over, looks like. And there it is, the game is over. The southern team, special guest, the Techer and Destroyer, myself, are victorious. Excellent. So well played to everyone in that match. I thought it was pretty fun. It's good to get into the swing of Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02, as I haven't been playing nearly as much as I should. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King. See you next time.